And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a series. The New York Knicks were able to get the 106-100 win against the Indiana Pacers. They did it again, folks. They completed a 20-point comeback, mainly because Karl Anthony Towns decided to grow up and be a man. At times, he played like a kid on the court. He played like a grown man in that second half with 20 big points to finish with 24 and 15 rebounds. He was sensational in the fourth. I always said, if the New York Knicks want to win a championship, it has to be because of Karl Anthony Towns. Brunson gonna do what he do. Cat has to lead the way because there's not many big men in the NBA that can check this guy when he's focused, aggressive, and he playing in the paint, not just standing on the three-point line like Dirk Nowitzki shooting the three. Did you see him in that fourth quarter? Putting the ball down on the floor, getting to the hoop, yamming, playing aggressive, showing intensity, showing emotion. That's what a big man's supposed to do out there. And he did that in the fourth, folks. He was balling out there, man. But let's give some respect to the role players. Guys like Miles McBride. He had 9 big points and a steal. He was clutch in this game with his defense too. He was nice. Landry Shamet, Darrell Wright coming in the game. Now combined, I think they had like maybe 5 or 6 points, but their minutes were key. They gave them key minutes in this game. Who would have thought? Because the knock on Tom Thibodeau is he's getting out coached. He don't play enough guys. Well, he flipped the script in this one. He gave the Pacers and Rick Carlisle a taste of their own medicine. He went deep into his bench, and it worked. Their bench outplayed the Pacers in the second half. Because in the first half, the Pacers bench were slaughtering the Knicks bench. And I was like, man, this is a shame the Knicks gonna go out like this here. Nobody else trying to help them boys. You know, with Jalen Brunson and Cat being in foul trouble, they needed someone else to step up. And they did as a committee. OG Anunoby had 16 points. Big Robinson played ball, was 6 and 6. Mikal Bridges had 15. He was nice. And ladies and gentlemen, finally, we had a Josh Hart sighting. He was everywhere. He was crashing that glass in the second half. He finished with 10 big rebounds to go with 8 points and a few assists. That's the Josh Hart that the Knicks seen all year. The last few games, man, he was nowhere to be found. Now, Jalen Brunson was in foul trouble, but he did finish with 23 points. And he hit a few clutch shots in the fourth quarter after Cat had brought him all the way back. He's the clutch player for a reason. And he was clutch in the fourth, man. But let's talk about Brunson for a second. You see, Tom Thibodeau finally is starting to coach in this series. He's seen that the Pacers were picking on Jalen Brunson. They've been doing that since game 1. Tom Thibodeau, he didn't make any adjustments until this game. By Brunson being in foul trouble, he put Brunson on that bench, let him rest up, and finish the game. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. And this is crazy to say, but the New York Knicks started playing way better with Brunson on the bench, especially defensively. And they were pretty good offensively too. It was very eye-opening to see this. A telling stat in this game was the three-point percentage. Man, the Knicks shot 34% from three. They finally beat the Pacers at shooting that three ball because the Pacers only shot 20% from three. They also beat the Pacers shooting from the free throw line, shooting 90% compared to their 81%. They had 40 points in the paint compared to the Pacers 32. They played ball. You know, their names are the comeback Knicks, man. Because it seems like when they're back against the wall, when they're down, it's like they play their best basketball. And another thing, it appears that they play their best basketball on the road. That's crazy, right? Go check out the stats. They play better on the road. Also, they have to do better at passing the ball around because they lost the assist battle. And I believe that's why they got in the hole in the first place. They only had 13 assists compared to the Pacers 21. But you see, in the fourth quarter, this is when things change. You know, they held the Pacers the 1 from 8 from 3 in the fourth. And they outscored them 36-20. 20 coming from Cat. He wasn't no cat in this game. He was an assertive, aggressive dog. And that's what the Knicks need if they want a chance to beat the Indiana Pacers and get to the NBA Finals. You know, for the first time since 1999. You know what I'm talking about? Great win by the New York Knicks. But it ain't done. The job not done yet. You don't win game 4, that 20-point comeback you made in the third game, it doesn't matter. Cat Brunson has to play smarter, stay out of foul trouble. Don't risk calls. You are too important to the team. They must stay out of foul trouble. Now let's talk about the Pacers for a second. Pascal Siakam had 39 points in the previous game. He only had 17 in this one. Nesmith, he rolled his ankle. He usually gives you somewhere around 13, 14 points. He only had 8 and 7. Turner been very consistent this whole series. 19, 4 rebounds to go with 3 assists. Andrew Nembhard, he was off in this game a little bit because he was giving you 12, 13 too. He only finished with 9 and 4 to go with 3 assists. Tyrese Halliburton, that's a bad boy, yeah. But they held him under check. 20.7 assists to go with 4 rebounds. And they only shot 44% from the field. You know, it's good. But how they been shooting from the field, you expect more. Because in the previous 2 games, the Pacers shot 51 and 52% from the field. T.J. McConnell, I don't know what I can say about this guy. He's one of the best veterans in the game, man. 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. He's been clutching every game in the playoffs so far. He's the reason why Tyrese Halliburton could take a long break when he holding it down. And you had Obi Toppin. He rounded things out with 8 points and 4 rebounds. Great win by the Knicks, though, man.